what we see is the beginning of Jesus' ministry here. It begins with somebody telling those who are closest to them, that's him. Stop looking at me and look at him. Stop following me and follow him. That's the Messiah. That's the Christ. That's the chosen one. That's God. I'm not. And based on that relationship that they have with him, these two men begin to follow Jesus. Andrew, one of the men, is so excited about what happens here. They begin to follow Jesus. They spend the day with him. There's conversation. They get to know who he is and see for themselves now. Now it's not just that they are following him based on the word of John, but now they've spent the day with him. They know for themselves now. And now Andrew goes. Notice he didn't go right after John said. I want you to notice that. It's not that he went and said, hey, Peter, John said this. That's not the whole thing. John didn't say, that's the Messiah, and Peter says, Andrew says, I got to go get my brother. First, Andrew went and found out for himself. Remember what I told you about a chain of witnesses? Andrew was not just repeating what John had said. Andrew was repeating what he had experienced for himself. He had a personal experience, and now we have a witness that points somebody to Christ. They experience Christ, now they become a witness to someone else. Then Jesus finds a man named Philip. He says, come follow me. Philip was from the same town as Andrew and Peter, probably knew them. Okay, towns are not very big back then. It's not like what we think of a town now. Towns were very small, maybe 100 people or less. They were very small. And then he goes and Philip tells Nathanael. Now, we don't know what the relationship was, but I can tell you this. The Bible says he went looking for Nathanael. Clearly, there's some kind of a relationship. I don't know if they were friends. I don't know if they were brothers or cousins. I don't know. All I know is this. When he found out who Jesus was, he went looking for Nathanael. He knew who he was looking for. There is a relationship here. And when he gets to Nathanael, and Nathanael is skeptical. This is kind of the big fear that so many people have. Well, what if I tell someone about Jesus and they make fun of me and they mock me? That's kind of what he was doing here, right? Nazareth, really? The Messiah from Nazareth? And he repeats something that was a common saying. He didn't just invent this here. That was a common saying that people said all over the place. Can anything good come from Nazareth? That was a common saying. And so when he says, is Jesus from Nazareth? And Nathanael says, Nazareth, come on. Can anything good? So many of us, we get so intimidated because we're afraid someone is going to mock us, someone is going to make fun of us or embarrass us, or we will feel like we're embarrassed. This is what we see here. Can anything good come from Nazareth? In other words, are you out of your mind? Are you out of your mind? Of all the places, are you kidding me? Nazareth? And Philip tells him the one thing that each of us should become so comfortable telling others. He says, come and see for yourself. Each of these men eventually become part of what we know as the 12 disciples. The most well-known of them, Peter, is introduced to Jesus because of a chain of witnesses.